Hey guys, just a minute. I'm just gonna put the stream out on my socials because I was gonna do this on Facebook Live, but Facebook Live doesn't seem to like my internet connection as much as YouTube seems to. So I'm just going to put a post on my Facebook, and hopefully people from my Facebook will come over to my YouTube stream. But just bear with me a second. I'm going to do the same with Twitter, or X, I should say. I still call it Twitter. I'm pretty sure a lot of people still call it Twitter, but so yeah, just give me a few minutes here, guys. My plans for the new year. And I'm going to put it in motion because, come on. I'm going to tag people. I'm going to tag my other two accounts. Yes, I am one of those people that weirdly has multiple Facebook accounts because it comes in handy when somehow something I post gets me put in Facebook jail, which doesn't happen often, but it happens sometimes. Bye. All right. I want to also apologize to anybody that was looking forward to my live streams for wrestling this week. I know I said I was going to do it on Tuesday or Wednesday, but it's been a week. And there's some not public people that I want to respect the privacy of, so I'm not going to really talk about it much. But I should really try the live streaming function on X. I wonder how well that would go over. I'm just posting it to X. Sorry, guys. Okay. Live stream. Apparently I have notifications. Oh, it's all things I follow. Okay. Now it's all wrestling stuff, so I'm trying to avoid spoilers because I do want to do the live streams maybe tomorrow, maybe tonight, who knows. But hi guys. 2025, man, it's coming to an end, and all I can say is what a year it's been. Like, it has been a year, y'all. It's been a year. It's been a roller coaster, to put it very lightly. And those of you that are personal friends of mine offline and, even on social media, on my socials, on Facebook, etc., have probably seen the ups and downs that I've been through. this year. I kind of went into it in my YouTube series about the hidden homeless, which I really need to do more episodes of, especially since I've told so many people about it this year, and I really have slacked on adding new episodes. But what a year. For those of you that are new and haven't really checked out much of my other content, or I've talked about what this year has been so far, I'm going to kind of go into and even for those that have, it's kind of nice to kind of reflect on. The year started off, I was sharing a room in a townhouse with somebody that was an ex-partner, but was still a good friend of mine, and I still like to consider them that, even though things have not gone well between us this year. And I really hope I can reach out to them over the next little bit, especially with it being the holidays, and just kind of say, hey. But yeah, I was, sharing a room, and this is going to be emotional at points, guys, so, because it's been that kind of year. But started off the year with a situation I was in with ex-partner and friend, and I had my cat. And I think the only thing I was really looking forward to, which sounds really silly looking back, but I had done the amateur radio, the basic course, the previous fall in 2024, and I'd written the exam in December, and took me 2 attempts. I did 2 attempts in a day because I didn't do so well the first time. So I was able to rewrite it, and because I blanked on it, like, honestly, I just blanked so hard. And I passed the second time around with honors, and I didn't even get the basic, like, license the first time. Like, I just blanked. It was so bad. But the second time I got basic with honors, which is awesome. This was in December of 2024, so I've been licensed for a year. Hooray! And for those of you that don't know or don't live in Canada, we were under a Canada Post strike at that time. So, and for those that don't know, when you do your exam, your physical license comes in the mail through Canada Post. So, I was hoping to have my license before Christmas, but with the Canada Post strike, that wasn't going to happen. So I was like, oh, maybe, and going into 2025, I was like, you know what? That's the one thing I'm looking forward to is, getting my license, because not long after I finished writing, they ended the strike. So I was like, okay, I might actually, get my license just after the new year. And so I got my license in the mail on January 6th. And I didn't realize it at the time, but that day would mean the world to me for more than one reason. I got my license, and it's probably my phone telling me to drink water. Should really turn that off. My ex-partner and roommate had gotten me a frame for my license, which was super generous of them, and I appreciate it so much. And so, I was so excited to open it. I was so excited to put it in the frame. And the main reason I was so excited, and I didn't really verbalize this at the time, and I really should have, was because my call sign, and I mentioned this in one of my live streams on my second channel, my call sign, my hand center channel, as I call it, which is my call sign, Victor VA3 FTG. I picked my call sign because of my cat. Like anybody that's a ham knows that, like, you try and pick a call sign. You want to try and pick a call sign that connects with you for some reason or another. And I'm pretty sure I still have the list somewhere. But I had a list of call signs, and near the top was FTG, because my cat's name was Fudge. And I would check, because ISID has a website devoted to, like, available call signs. And I had that bookmarked, I had it bookmarked from, like, day one that I wanted to do the course. I had that, because I'm like, as soon as I write my exam, I can, get my call sign right then and there, because we had a bunch of hams on hand that were, technically inclined, and our course was held at our club station. Technically it was held at the 427 Wing and Cafe, in the meeting room, which we usually had our amateur radio club meetings in. And then we'd go over to the club station, where there's, obviously computers with internet access, and we had hams that were, like, writing to give us our call signs. And of course, I did mine myself on my phone once I got word that I had passed. But I had that site bookmarked on my phone, on my Chromebook, because I always brought my Chromebook to class. And so I kept checking, and FTG was still available. And I wanted VA3. I thought about VE3, but I'm like, no, VA3 just rolls off the tongue for me a little bit better. Like, VA3 FTG just kind of has more of a ring to it than VE3 FTG did, at least to me. Though apparently somebody has VE3 FTG, so if you're out there. So I got FTG. It was available, so claimed it. And I was so happy, because my cat was my world. Even though I didn't always, portray it, because of everything that was going on in the past 5 years, past 4 years. Even though I didn't portray it always, she was my world. There was a time where I was unhoused and in a shelter, and they weren't accepting pets unless, they were a service animal, and I couldn't really go through the process of getting her certified as one, because I'd never really taken her to a vet. She was always an indoor cat, and I always, looked after her as best I could and kept her away from other animals when possible. And so when I in 2021, I left a really not good situation. I ended up homeless, started renting rooms from people. And then I was renting a room from somebody for, like, almost a year. It seems to be a trend with me. Um, and just crap hit the fan, and I'm pretty sure I'll go into this at some point in a separate video, but it just got to a point where I ended up back in the shelter, and I had to give my cat away. Not like to a stranger or anything. Family member was able to take her for a little bit. And while I went back to the shelter, and I tried to go through the process, but like there were some things that I just couldn't do because she wasn't in the same city, so I wasn't able to just coordinate that. So about halfway into my stay, I want to say like 6 to 7 months into my stay, even less so, I think. Family member was like, "Hey, I'm need to get your cat out of here, blah, blah, blah." Turns out they were moving to the East Coast. So I made arrangements, thankfully. And I will always be thankful to my friend in London that was willing to take her in so that I didn't have to give her to a shelter. Because I didn't have any other options. I didn't have any other options because nobody else was able to take her. But thankfully they were, and I will always be thankful for them. But for that 6 to 7 months, while she was in a different city, it wasn't in London, I never got to see her. I didn't get to see her till I went to pick her up from that family member's place to bring her to my friend's house. So we were apart for 6-7 months, and it killed me so much. And everybody around me at the time could tell, because that cat was my world. She had been through so much with me. Like, I got her when she was 4 months old, and that was in 2009, 2010. Yeah, I got her in 2010. Yeah, we just figured this out this year. I'll get into that. But she had been my world. She had been with me through so much, and I did my best that I could to, take care of her as best I could. So, but there was like a year or so that we were, like when I had to move her to my friend's place in London, I got to go visit her once a month because I would bring food and litter to them, to my friend that was hosting her. No, I'll always be grateful to them for that, because they'd always, they had a cat, and I was more worried about like how she would interact with that other cat, because she's very much like me. Like, she doesn't like other like, I don't like other people. Like, it takes me a lot to trust and to open up to people and be comfortable around people, and she was very much like that with other cats. And she didn't really like guys either. Like, she didn't really like human guys. I'm not sure how she felt about, like male cats, but they seemed to get along pretty good over the time that I was apart from her. But like, that was still really hard. Even only seeing her once a month, I'd always take pictures of her. And then when I met my now former partner that I was rooming with this time last year, we were both in the shelter. Yeah, I know. How romantic is that, right? And that was always the joke. That, someday we're going to tell somebody or tell people our love story. It's going to be the least romantic love story ever. But we just vibed really good. So like, we were like, okay, let's give this a shot. But so we just got sick of the shelter because it was not, and I'll go into that in a separate video as well, separate live stream. But we're like, okay, we were both on Ontario Works, which is welfare in Ontario, Canada. So we just were like, okay, let's combine our resources and try and find, a room for $800 because that's all we got for shelter. All somebody gets for shelter max on Ontario Works in Ontario is $390. Like that's max. They don't give you anything more than that. You have $390 max for shelter, and you get $330 something for basic needs on top of that. So like, yeah. Being on Ontario Works is not fun. I know it's not meant to be, but for those of us that are, struggling and don't qualify for ODSP, which is Ontario Disability Support Program in Ontario, for those of us with disabilities that don't qualify for ODSP, because ODSP has really gotten strict about who they, accept and deny, because, people have ruined it for the good ones. It's not fun, but we were like, okay, let's start looking, and what really pushed that was the fact that we both got to the point where we're like, okay, we need to, we were both at our mental breaking point, and we ended up in Emerge self-going, because we were like, okay, and we went to staff first, and like I said, I'll get into this in another video, but yeah, we just decided, you know what, screw it, let's go. And we knew that they weren't going to hold our bed at the shelter while we went to Emerge, which, again, I'll get into that in a different video. But so we did that, and we ended up going to the crisis center, which is when we found out that two friends aren't able to go at the same time. We unintentionally broke that rule, and we still respected how things were there. But within the 3 days that we were both there, we were able to, find and secure a place. And ironically, it was close to what we call check day, which is the end of the month, when the last business day of the month, you get your check to pay for the month. So we were able to just secure, and then we were going to go to the Housing Stability Bank, and then one of my friends came in clutch. Ugh. I have so many good friends that come in clutch so often, and I'm so grateful, and they've really been lifesavers, literally. And I appreciate, and I'm so grateful for so many of them, and I will probably give them each their own, little sections. But yeah, they came in, and so we started renting rooms from people, and I was able to get my cat back because we went for pet-friendly places because I wanted to get my cat back. And that'll be a whole different video because, oh my goodness, that is a video by itself. But so we started renting rooms, and I was able to get my cat back, and I was so happy because we had been separated almost 2 years at this point, other than monthly visits near the last little bit. And I was just so happy to get her back. And so from 2022 to 2024, I was able to have my cat back, and we moved a lot over those years. But come to the end of 2024, and that's why I chose the call sign I did when I did my ham license at the end of 2024, was because my cat was my world, right? So her name is Fudge. So I was like, FDG, VA3 FDG, that's my call sign. And I'm so happy that was available. Oh, I'm so happy. I can't imagine having to pick another call sign because my heart was so set on it, and they tell you not to get your heart set on a call sign because of that reason. But so yeah, the new year came. There was a Canada Post strike still going on. They had just ended it, so it was going to delay when I was going to get my my physical license in the mail. So long story short, this is where 2025 starts. So January 2025, January 6th, 2025, I get my license, my physical ham license in the mail. And it has my call sign, Victor VA3 FDG. And I was so happy because I finally had officially had my call sign, even though I had officially had it really the month prior. But I officially had it, and my former partner and roommate put it in a frame for me. And we tried to hang it up in our room, and it wouldn't stay on the wall. And we were just like, okay. So we just kind of left it there. And looking back now, it's just like, I should have taken that as an omen. And that night, I took my LARC badge, my London Amateur Radio Club badge with my lanyard, and I laid it next to my cat. Laid it on my cat at times. I have so many pictures from that night that I'll always treasure. And she was a senior cat, so I knew at some point she would pass away. But I wanted that call sign because I wanted to honor her, and I wanted her to always be with me. But if you were to tell me that within 24 hours of physically getting my license in the mail, that I would be signing paperwork so that she could cross the Rainbow Bridge, I never would have believed you. But she hadn't been doing well. I knew she hadn't been doing well. And I was not going to be in a position to be able to afford any kind of medication. And it really would have just been prolonging the inevitable. Because she was not doing well leading up to January 7th. But morning of January 7th, she just... And we had to bother our poor roommate who was at work to come home with a vehicle so we could take her to the emergency vet. Signing that paperwork is something that I'll never forget as long as I live. And I've been through a lot of hard stuff in my life. And I've been through it. Like, I've been through the ringer more times than I care to count. But signing that paperwork was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. And I know people have like really strong opinions about euthanizing animals. As do I. I'm usually very like, do everything you can. But I just was not going to be able to afford what would have been needed to make her better. And I don't think she would have gotten better. I think she just would have been what she always was. And that was just kind of, she did what I did. She masked a lot of pain. And I knew that I had done the right thing because the night before, when I got my license and I had taken those pictures with my lanyard and her, I had time by myself with her. And I said, Fudge, thank you for everything. Thank you for always being my rock. Thank you for being the one thing I could always count on. And I know you're not doing well. I know you're, putting on a brave face for me. And I literally just said, you don't have to anymore. Like, I'm okay. It's okay. And the next morning, she just went. And I didn't even tell my roommate this before or after. Because I honestly was just saying that just to get it off my heart, because it was really heavy on my heart, because I knew she had been staying strong and been strong for me because of everything that I'd been going through. And I just said, Fudge, it's okay. Like, I'm good. I'll be good. It'll be hard, but I'll be good. And literally the next day, some of the memorial jewelry I got after she crossed the Rainbow Bridge. And I stopped taking it off when I had a shower, so it's all copperized, which I don't care. It's actually more the color of her anyways now. But yeah, so January 7th, me and sevens, man, like January 7th, she crossed the Rainbow Bridge. And that day I had to break a promise I made to her. Because the last time we had moved into the place that we were in when she passed, I was pretty secure in the fact that, the next time we would have to put her in the carrier because she hated it, we would be going to being housed. So I had promised her that the next time she'd be in that carrier, as much as she hated it, would be when we got housed, because we were waiting on housing wait lists and whatever. And I had to break that promise, because the last time she was in that, the next time she would be in that carrier after we moved, was to go to the vet, the emergency vet, the day she passed. And she never came back home. I couldn't afford to get her ashes. I couldn't even afford to get like paw print and stone. I got her ink paw prints, which are in my pantry next to a lot of the other stuff I have of hers. But I miss her so much. And especially with it being Christmas time now. This time last Christmas, we actually got to spend the whole day together, which was rare for us because, it had been a very off and on few years. And I just... This Christmas will be the first one without her. But I didn't get it myself. But, so she passed in January 7th. Never forget that day as long as I live. Miss you so much, Fudge. And I just want to say again, because I seem to have to keep saying it every time I talk about her, because people are like, oh, well, you should just get another cat because, it would make it easier. I decided years ago I wasn't going to get another cat. Like, it's just not happening. Not only because I can't
really financially afford it, especially now. Like this time a year ago, I could barely afford fudge, but I managed. But now, oh, not so much. But even before then, I just decided that Fudge was my only cat, and Fudge will be my only cat. Like, I've had a lot of cats in my life. I've had so many that, like, have crossed the Rainbow Bridge that I was separated from years before. And, like, Oliver comes to mind. A cat I had when I was a child and teen. And I have this hilarious video on social media because I picked up the reason why I called that cat Oliver was because of the Disney movie Oliver and Company. Because I loved that movie. I still do. I have not watched it in years. But I still love that movie. And I watched that movie so much when I was a kid. And I always wanted to name a cat Oliver, and I finally got the chance to. And we had to give them away. I'm allergic to cats, so. Which is weird considering I had a cat for over 10 years. But when Oliver ended up getting hit by a car, after we had given them away to a friend of the family, they had been let out and they got hit by a car. So, and that killed me. And I never thought anything could ever top that in terms of just. But losing Fudge just. Like, I was already struggling mentally with so much because, I really wanted to get housed. I was like, I was in a pretty good situation even if I was unhoused technically. But it just was not a good situation to be in long term. And I was just like trying so hard to get housed. And I was in. And so, beginning in 2025, I lose Fudge. Which I'm still not okay with. But that bankrupted me. Emotionally, and just. I think a switch flicked in me, and that was when I was just like, whatever. So that was the mood at the beginning of the year, was just being emotionally bankrupted by losing the one thing that was stable in my life. And so I started coping in my own way and still kept pushing for housing, still kept, trying to get out of the situation I was in. And that was a long few months. And then I get a phone call on May 1st. What a year. May 1st, I get a phone call from housing in Stratford saying, hey, your name's come up. We have a possible housing offer for you. And so May was, usually annual review time for my waitlist application. So, I woke up, I missed their phone call, and I was like, oh, it's probably them calling to say, hey, annual review time, time to hand in some, banking info, etc. I was like, okay, cool, no big deal. So I called my voicemail, and somebody leaves me a voicemail. It literally sends me a text message with audio. And so I don't even have to call my voicemail. I just listen to the audio, and they're like, hey, we have a possible housing offer for you. And I nearly dropped my phone. Immediately, I'm, calling them back, and apparently they had sent an email to a person I had as an emergency contact on my application. And I promptly got an email saying, hey, do you mind removing me from your emergency contact since, obviously circumstances had changed. So I was like, yeah, no problem. So they, it was basically the same process of annual review anyways. So I was just like, okay, no problem. Sent in the information they requested. And then I didn't hold my breath because I was just like, yeah, it's, I'm going to make sure that it's a sure thing before I say anything. So not long after, it was a sure thing, got the paperwork saying, it's a sure thing. So I let everybody know. And it meant moving out of London to where I am now, Mitchell. Which, oh, good Lord. I would not recommend, but it's not like I really had a choice either, because if I would have said no, I would have had to restart the application process all over again, thanks to legislation that exists in Ontario. Thank you, Doug Ford, because it came in 2020, January 1st, 2020, no less. Again, thank you, Doug Ford. That was sarcasm for anybody that doesn't figure it out. So I didn't really have a choice, and I didn't really feel like sitting around and waiting for, because I was also on the London wait list, and that was a 10-year plus wait list. So I was like, yeah, no, forget it. So I took the opportunity and ran with it. So next 2 months, they originally wanted me to move in June 1st, and I moved it to July 1st because I was like, okay, and then I realized, oh wait, July 1st is Canada Day, nothing's going to be open, I need to do it the Friday before. So because the way things worked out, I was like, oh, maybe I can get somebody to meet me here at the apartment, hand me my keys, have me sign the paperwork, and then whatever. No, I had to go to the office in Stratford and sign the paperwork there, get the keys, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, okay, so I got to, book a rental vehicle, and then I have to, make a pit stop and then come here. So, of course, everybody was so happy for me. I was happy for myself, but first thing I thought of when I got the news officially was, man, I could have almost kept my promise to Fudge. Because she wouldn't have crossed the Rainbow Bridge in January. The next time she'd be in that carrier, would be moving here. And let me tell you, the months after she passed were so hard, because when I go grocery shopping, I'd always, do her stuff first. Before I got my own food, I'd make sure she had food and let her and this and that and the other. So, yeah. So, and I even still now, when I go to the grocery store now, Walmart or grocery stores or even I go to pet stores, and I can't, it's hard for me to go into PetSmart. Because that's where I adopted her from, was from PetSmart in London. So I stay away from the pets in PetSmart. I stay away from the pets in any pet store. I just, walk through pet stores and and then get back out. But Fudge was the first thing I thought of when I got the official word. I was like, Fudge would be so happy. But like I've said in previous videos, I'm really glad she went when she did, because I don't think it would be as smooth a process, as much as it was a daunting process to try and get her into a vet the day she passed. But if she was still here now, it would be a daunting process, to say the least, especially being in a smaller town. And yeah, so as much as it sucks that she's not here, I'm kind of glad she went when she did. And I don't know how hard it would be. I don't know how I would take being here if she would have passed once she got here. Like in this space. I think in a weird way, I was mostly looking forward to getting away from where I was when she passed because of that. Because it was so hard being there after she passed. Not because of the situation, but because I just missed her so much. And that place had so many memories, and it was just so difficult. Because I missed her so much. I miss her so much. But I was, first thing I thought of was, man, Fudge would be so happy to be housed. And so, immediately went into, all right, get everything. And at the time I had my stuff stored at 2 different friends' houses. And so I had to combine, finally get my stuff out of one and put it in the other and have everything in one spot, so that when we had the rental truck that we could, load it all up from one spot instead of, because they were located halfway across the city from each other. So I was like, okay, one spot, done. So I had to downsize. And then I did more downsizing, ended up donating multiple giant garbage bags of stuff to Sanctuary London. That my friends were, kind enough to wash up all the clothes. Because a lot of my clothes had been in storage for 4 years. Going on 4.5. So they probably weren't smelling the greatest. So they were kind enough to wash everything and then donate it. There's some stuff that, looking back now, I'm like, oh, I kind of miss that. But at the same time, I don't. Yeah, it was a very stressful time, but it was a very, bittersweet time at the same time, finally, after 4 years of pushing and, annoying the crap out of everybody, if there's anybody that knows how to keep on people that are, responsible for getting me housed, it's me. I'd annoyed, I'd emailed, people, I had shown up in person, I was annoying people because I was just so persistent, because I just wanted to get housed so bad. And, now that it was finally happening, I was just being persistent about, getting things downsized, getting things, organized and ready to go. And, so moving day came and went, and that was an early morning, because I had to be at the office in Stratford, at social services office in Stratford at a certain time to get my paperwork and everything signed. So I had to get up really early. Yeah, it's bittersweet to look back on. Of course, I have all of Fudge's blankets with me. They're on my bed presently. Her Oilers blanket that she loved to lay on, that is probably still covered in her hair, as much as I've washed it several times. her gray blanket that was always in her carrier that still has, even though I've washed it several times, still has some light stains from the multiple times she's been in the carrier and not taking kindly to it, or her body hasn't taken kindly to it. Talking to her and talking about her in the present. Ugh. Some days I just forget that she's gone. But yeah, I still have all her blankets. They're on my bed. For the first few months I was here, they were folded at the end of my bed. Because when we were, that's how they always were. They would always be kind of folded and, kind of put in her spot. So I wanted to give her a same size kind of spot on the end of my bed. But I've since, her blankets are fully out of my bed. So, like, her gray blanket is fully out of my bed, like, fully spread. Oiler's blanket she used to love. And the orange blanket that my former roommate got me, that she used to lay under when she would lay on the bed. Same blanket she laid under the last night she was with me. That is in the last Christmas she was with me. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to Christmas, guys. Not having her here is going to be difficult. Because last year we, I intentionally stayed home because I wanted to spend time with her and everybody that I was living with. So this year is going to be hard. As much as I'm, happy I'm housed finally. She's the one constant that's always missing. But I haven't really managed to give her a spot yet. She's kind of got little trinkets everywhere. Like her ink pop prints are still in my pantry with some of her other stuff. Still on my keychain that I got, I immediately put my apartment keys on. It's a little charm. It's got little charms on it. It says my angel has whiskers. It's got a little cat charm on it and a little angel charm on it. So she's always with me. She's always with me. Always. And she'll be with me for life because of my call sign, but she's always with me. There's not a day I don't think about her. There's not a day I don't miss her. There's not a day I don't wish she was here. But anyways, so moving day comes at the end of June 27th, which July, August, September, October, November, December. I will be here 6 months next weekend. That's crazy. That is wild. I'm not looking for. I have my dry erase calendar there, my giant one. Putting that up was a pain in the butt. It's being held up by command things. Like I took 4 command things and put them on each corner. So, and I have plenty of command strips. So if they ever come off, just redo it because it's a proper dry erase. Like it's the laminated dry erase calendar. It's not one of the dollar store ones. Or the ones on the board. It's literally a laminated dry erase calendar. Not looking forward to doing the one for next month because I'll have to write January 7th. And I'm going to put R.I.P. Fudge. So anyways, So I get moved, everything gets moved. The only thing that I was stressed about on moving day more than, moving was I had to have a friend book a U-Haul, take the day off work, which they didn't mind. As much as they needed the money, they didn't mind it because if you know, you know. Again, that's stuff I'm not really going to talk too much about out of respect for them. But the only thing I was worried about was I'd heard stories about like U-Haul truck equipment not being there when after people had booked it. I booked it I booked it the end of May. I booked it because I was like, I just want to get it done, over with, So in the process of getting a U-Haul truck, oh my goodness, like. They don't let you go into the store. They make you do everything online. Like, they make you verify your identity by taking pictures of your license and taking selfies. Well, you could literally just walk into the store when you're going into the store to get the keys anyways. Like, makes no sense. But alas, I was, that was the only thing I was worried about, is that we're going to do all this and then the equipment's not going to be there because, I heard stories. Thankfully, our equipment was there. We're good. Process was a little daunting, but it is what it is, right? I've gone through so much Kleenex the past 2 weeks. I just don't want to be, blubbering idiot for you guys. But so everything went smoothly. Got everything in one shot. Perfect. Okay, cool. I'm still unpacking in some ways. All the major stuff's unpacked, but there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be unpacked. But it's all small stuff, so kind of have a lot of time to unpack. But no, it's just that first night I slept here, I probably slept like I hadn't slept in like 5 years. Like, oh my goodness. Not only was I sleeping in my own bed for the first time in years, that wasn't in a shelter and wasn't, shared with somebody else that I was rooming with. Or wasn't somebody else's furniture. But I went from, because my former partner / roommate and I shared a bed, because when we initially started rooming together, we were together. So we just got one bed because single rooms don't allow for 2 separate beds comfortably at all, let alone at all. So we just were like, okay, I think we got a king or a queen size bed. So I went from a queen size bed to a single. And I'm 5'8.5" to 5'9", depending on how well my back cooperates, because I slouch a lot. But I woke up the next morning after I moved here, and I was just like, it took me a few minutes. It took me a few minutes to realize that, okay, like, this is, like, it was a pinch me moment. Like, I woke up and I was just like, this is real. Like, this actually happened. Like, finally. And if you would have told me this time last year that I would be spending this Christmas season housed after 4 years of precarious housing and not being stably and properly and adequately housed, I would have said you're nuts, because wait lists are insane for geared to income housing, social housing, any kind of housing, really. And it's just wild to me. Like, if you would have said to me this time last year, hey, you're going to be housed by next Christmas. Like, I always aimed for, like, my birthday. I was like, you know what? And this is what makes this whole thing just weird, is that, like, I was like, you know what? For my birthday, I want to be housed. I spent my birthday housed this year. Like, what? Though, ironically, I spent my birthday in London staying with a friend of mine because I went to London for the week of my birthday. Because I wanted to spend time with my friends because I couldn't really do that in a small town of Mitchell. So I literally went to London and spent my birthday staying at my friend's house. Though I was housed on my birthday, so that was just like, oh my gosh. And being like, holy crap. This year's been a year, yo. So I got housed, which was, awesome. A relief. It probably took me a week to kind of, come down. And I think I'm still, like, for the better part of 4 years, from like 2021 to 2025, for the better part of those years, I was in survival mode, autopilot, whatever people want to call it mentally. I was just, I was numb. I was autopilot. I was, yeah. So I think I'm still, and this is why I kind of go offline and off grid a lot lately, I think, is because I'm still recovered. Like, I can feel at moments that I'm still recovering from being in that mode for so long, because that's traumatic, especially with everything that I've gone through the past 4 years, past 5 years. The amount of trauma and the amount of traumatic events I've witnessed, even when I've been on autopilot and, not really So I think at times I go off grid and I just kind of, become a hermit, for lack of better terms, because I'm still kind of recuperating and recovering from just being on guard 24/7 for that many years. It's wild. And I think that's going to take a while to kind of work out of my body, because I think my body is just still in recovery mode. And yeah, it's been a journey. I've been live for over an hour. Most of it was me blubbering about my cat. I love you, Fudge. I miss you so much. But yeah, this Christmas is going to be difficult without Fudge around. And I'm really glad that I, took advice of so many people around me last year amidst everything that was going on, because a bunch of them were just like, stay home, spend time with Fudge. You don't really spend too much time with her because you've been so busy, pushing to get yourself housed and get into a better situation. Stay where you're staying and spend time with your cat. Like, because she's your rock, so you gotta kind of be a better cat mom for at least one day. And I literally took the day off, on encouragement from other people, and I spent the majority of the day with my cat. And if you would have told me this time last year that Christmas this year I'd be housed, but I wouldn't have Fudge, I'd have really thought you were crazy. because I did not see housing in my future at all. And I sure as heck didn't see my cat crossing the Rainbow Bridge in my future. At least not as soon after Christmas. So, yeah, Christmas Eve and Christmas are going to be really tough. More mentally than anything. But, like, I have a lot to be thankful for at the same time. As much as I complained. And I own the fact that I complain. Rightfully so, as many people seem to tell me. But I have a place of my own this year, whereas so many of my friends that I met throughout the past 5 years are still either renting rooms from people, or living in their car, or living on the street, or living in shelters. So I don't take my situation for granted at all. And I don't gloat about it. I don't mean to gloat about it. I am grateful. And all I can do is hope that perhaps this time next year, my friends that are, not housed can be housed. I know I'm thankful and grateful for my health. For my friends, as much as, it sucks that a lot of them aren't around me as close as this time last year when I was in London. But I'm thankful for my health, because one of my best friends of almost 20 years, if not more so, had a heart attack a few weeks ago now, if not almost a month ago. And I didn't know about it till after, because they're in London and I'm here. And that was just, the whole interaction was just so cute. Like, as much as, like, the circumstances were not the greatest, they just, texted me and they're like, I haven't been ignoring you. I hadn't been feeling well, so I went to urgent care, and turns out I had a heart attack, so now I'm in, hospital waiting for surgery. I just wanted to let you know I'm not ignoring you. I know I'm laughing because it was just like the way they broke the news to me. It was just like, that's so us. Like, we always, like, whenever we go out of touch for a time, we always like, I'm not ignoring you. So, like, I literally put LOL, no worries about being out of touch, because Lord knows I'm out of touch, like, And then after that, I was like, also, oh my God, I'm glad you're okay. And it took a few days before they got into surgery. But of course, I'm bawling when I read that they had a heart attack, because this is my best friend, like literally my best friend of 20 plus, almost 20 years. I think 20 years, if not just over that, because we were more acquaintances when we first met, but like I would like to count that as how long we've been friends, because I'm weird like that. Not sure if you've noticed yet, but I'm weird. But yeah, so they got in for surgery. They had a double bypass. And I pretty much quit smoking the minute that text came across, because, yeah, I don't want to tempt fate. But like the first thing I thought when they texted me that, I was like, okay, I lost my cat this year. Like, please not my best friend too. Like, it's the last thing I needed. But I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my friend's health. I'm thankful that my friend's okay. My best friend's okay. They're, recovering well. Just wow. I'm thankful for a lot of things that people probably take for granted. Or people don't think it's a big deal. Like, I'm thankful for having a balcony. I'm thankful for having a place of my own. I'm thankful for having my own space and my own place again. And I'm thankful for, having my own life back. Like, this has been a really long journey for me. And like I said, if you would have told me this time last year that this would be my reality a year later, I would be like, you're nuts. Because the wait lists are not short. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a year. Like, when I moved, I texted everybody, like, that was in my phone, whether or not I had talked to them recently or hadn't talked to them in forever. I was just like, hey, got my own place, blah, 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 blah. And one of those was the officer that helped me with my circumstances when I left in 2021. So, no, I didn't get his number back then. I got his number after everything had, whole court case has gone through, and conflict of interest was no longer a thing. We just happened to, touch base once and then kind of fell out of contact. So once I moved, I reached out, just happened to text them, and they're like, oh, who's this? I was like, oh, it's, it's Mel, but, explain the circumstance. They're like, oh, well, and they spelled my last name wrong. But I hadn't seen them since, like, the first night when I gave my report for what went down in 2021. So I hadn't seen them. Well, technically that's not true, because I seen them from a distance at one point, because, and it wasn't like stalker creepy vibes or anything. I had gone to emergency preparedness day at Fanshawe College, and I was there with my ham club, London Amateur Radio Club. And so I was walking around checking out the displays, and I happened to see, London police were there. So, went to walk by, and I just happened to see his last name on, and I was like, oh, okay. And didn't even, just kind of kept walking. So that was kind of cool. But other than that, I hadn't seen them they had not seen me in person. Other than one random walk by in downtown London in like 2023, I think. But, we just got chatting and, just reconnecting, and I finally got to see them. They finally got to see me, like, in person and not just random bypassing. They actually got to come here and hang out for a bit, which was cool. Of course, I was so excited. If you know, you know. I was so excited. But yeah, that was kind of cool. Just this year's been real fun. It's been a roller coaster of a year. It's been an interesting year. It's been a year. Anyways, enough about this year, because I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this year, other than, I might do another video and just kind of go into like some of the good times, and then some of the I'm just kind of going off the cuff right now. So, but plans for the new year. I plan to get a proper setup so I can live stream, a little bit more effectively than I can now. A little bit better of a setup than sitting on my couch, as much as you guys probably don't care. I do. And I also want to incorporate a setup that's going to allow me to see, I could do this one of two ways. And I'm still thinking about this because on my brain. My brain operates weirdly. So I'm debating completely switching my living room around. But I'm like, yeah, it could work, it could not work. Could be interesting, could be really awkward. Might work better, might not. Kind of tossing it back and forth, but yeah, because tossing around a few ideas for what I want my living room to look like. I want to get a proper TV stand because I want my coffee table back. Coffee table I bought with the intention of having a coffee table, and a TV stand is my TV stand in the midst of not having a TV stand. So rather than having my TV and everything on the floor, my coffee table is the perfect height. And it's like a $40 coffee table from Walmart, so not a big deal. Yeah. I'm trying to, it's a challenge for me to be positive. Like, I have a lot of things to be positive about. I have a lot of things to be happy about. I have a lot of things to be thankful for. I have a lot of things to be grateful for. But there's a lot that is still heavy on my heart and my mind, and just, I think I'm still somewhat in survival mode. Like, even though things are so good right now, I'm always like, okay, when's the other shoe gonna drop? You know? But yeah, next year I want to do a lot of things. I want to do, not sure if I want to do the trip to London the week of my birthday again. Because I think I might do a couple days and that's about it. Or I might just do like individual days. Who knows? I'm going to try and find a way to honor Kat on the anniversary of her passing on January 7th. It's always going to be a tough day going forward. That'll always be a day. Oh, that's a story I could tell. So, all this time, and I feel so bad, and I feel like such a terrible cat mom. The entire time I had Fudge, I had it in my head that her birthday was in November 9th. Because the paperwork when I adopted her, I read as, 9/11/2009, which I thought meant 9th of November 2009, because some of the dates and the other paperwork were done the same way. No, her birthday is literally September 11th. And I found that out this year after the fact, and I feel really bad. Like, I always celebrated her birthday in November when her birthday was actually in September. And I feel really bad. Though it's an honest mistake, so pretty sure she'd forgive me. But going forward, as if 9/11 already doesn't have enough weird memories attached to it. 9/11/2009 was when my cat was born, according to her paperwork. Not November 9th, as I had thought for so many years, for most of her life, all of her life. Because it wasn't until after she passed that I realized my mistake. So September 11th, going forward, will be Fudge's birthday. I've already changed it in all my calendars. January 7th will always be a day. She'll have 2 days a year now. January 7th and September 11th, because her birthday and the day she passed. Day she passed, January 7th, and her birthday on September 11th. So, because I always thought it was 9th of November, and I'll always feel bad for that, because I always celebrate it in November. And I'd always get her something for Christmas every year, and I wasn't able to last year, and thankfully one of my friends came in clutch and got her some treats and stuff, which super thankful for, super grateful for. Yeah, not having her here this year is going to be hard. But she's right here. Always will be. But I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody. And you know who you are, and I'm not going to go into a giant Oscar-length acceptance speech kind of thing, where I thank everybody individually, but I'll reach out over the holidays and say thank you to them individually. But I want to say thank you to everybody who's been along my journey with me this year in any way, shape, or form, whether you've observed it through social media or, you know, literally been through it with me by my side or, you know, helped me out in any way, shape, or form. Thank you. Extensively, I want to say thank you to people that have been there for me through the past 4.5 years since this journey began on Valentine's Day of 2021 till now. However, people have been along my journey, thank you. And to those that have been here since the beginning of that journey, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to those that have come in clutch over that time, thank you. And I also, at the same time, I want to apologize to all my friends because I have been a basket case and then some in the past almost 5 years. And I am so sorry if I lashed out at anybody that didn't actually deserve it as much as I, at the time, stated such. And even in the past 6 months, I've lashed out at a few people that probably didn't deserve it because I've just been a basket case in a whole different way, coming like recovery mode. So I apologize, and I thank you guys, those of you that have stuck by me through that. Thank you. You guys are the real MVPs, and I love you all. Yeah, what a year it's been, eh? What a year it's been. And I also want to take an opportunity to say rest in peace to so many people that I know parasocially or personally that have passed this year, and their families and their friends, and anybody that is grieving loss of a pet, loss of a friend, loss of anything over the holidays. My thoughts are with you. Sending you guys positive vibes. To anybody struggling right now with anything, whether that be addiction, whether that be homelessness, whether that be anything, struggling with the loss of a loved one due to addiction, especially. I've lost so many friends to addiction, so I can't imagine. I can imagine, but I can't imagine other families that had family members that were lost to addictions that weren't the ones I've lost friends to, that were worse, because there are worse. There always is worse, somehow or another. You never think it's possible, but there is. So my heart's with you guys, with you. And past few days, the YouTube community, the tech community, which I'm not a part of, but I'm a viewer of and a follower of and have been for years. The news came out, I believe it was yesterday, that Lamar Wilson passed away at the end of November. and I guess the family kept it kind of quiet so they could, process it. And the circumstances are that Lamar took his own life. Which, of course, my heart and my prayers and my thoughts and just love are with his family and friends. Another example that people on the outside that look like they're, doing all right probably aren't. So I implore everybody, and I'm going to try and do this as best as I can, but check in on your people, especially around the holidays, but check in on your people, not just over the holidays, but check in with them once in a while or once a week, because you never know what a difference that will make to somebody who may be struggling. Kind of a personal connection to Lamar Wilson, parasocially, of course, but I don't even know how I came across him, but I think it was just Xbox related because I have an Xbox One S. So I'd always watch his videos about like him unboxing like Xbox controllers and, games and, his reviews on tech and stuff. One of the legends of the YouTube tech sector, I want to say, community, I should say. But rest in peace, Lamar. And ironically, he was just on, because like I said, I follow a lot of tech people on YouTube, and Austin Evans was really close with Lamar, and Lamar was just on Mystery Tech, one of his YouTube series, one of Austin's YouTube series. Like, I want to say less than a month ago, like they put the video out. If not just over a month ago. So and I remember being so happy to see Lamar and Austin together again. Like, it was always good to see those two together. So, and I've been kind of offline the past couple days. Been just watching the black hole that is YouTube, and I've just been kind of putting it on and letting it go, and just kind of background noise to, nap to, and just kind of, watch some stuff. And I was watching it on my Xbox, ironically, and I hit back, and I just happened to see Austin's video that he posted yesterday. And it just said R.I.P. Lamar Wilson, and I was like, wait, what? Like, I had not, followed the newly uploaded. I watched a whole bunch of old series by like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye and, Cinnamon Toast Ken, etc., and I just and I just saw them, and I was like, wait, what? And that's how I found out. Wow. Can't imagine what his family and friends are going through, especially so close to holidays. It's wild. So that's why I want to say, to anybody struggling with anything, my heart is with you. And yeah. It's been a year. And I think I'll do another video in a couple days, before Christmas. Just kind of do another kind of like this, but
maybe a little bit more. Well, that's the thing. I don't want to try and be like positive if I'm not in a positive mood, which is why I don't like this. Like I had every intention of doing my wrestling live streams this week, but I just mentally was not, and it would not be what it should be. Like I haven't even watched wrestling this week. Like it's been like I've been so just disconnected from wrestling stuff, which is weird for me because usually it's the thing I go to when I'm mentally not doing well. But yeah, it's just I hope to get back into doing it on a regular basis. I think come the new year, I might just do the pay-per-views. I'll probably do Saturday night's main event because the next one's in Montreal here in Canada, which is awesome. And I might do the Raw that follows that because it's going to be in Toronto. But, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just do like, because wrestling reaction space on YouTube is a huge space. It's got so many creators already. And I want to not take audience away from other creators. So, but I know that's, more the viewer's choice than my own. But I don't want to piggyback off anybody and I don't mean to when I live stream like Raw and SmackDown and the pay-per-views. But I think just because, especially with the Royal Rumble next month, even though it's in Saudi Arabia, I think especially the pay-per-views, they tend to be a little bit better than the weekly shows. Not to say some of the weekly shows haven't been like phenomenal. But I think especially on the road to WrestleMania, I might just do the pay-per-views, like the Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Backlash is after WrestleMania. Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. There's one more in between. See, I miss the old WWE schedule because it used to be like WWE, like Royal Rumble. What was the February one called? You know what? I have. Nope, it's not that one. Is it this one? Nope. It's in one of these. I know it's still in one of these. Is it in my... Yeah, it is. Okay. So I have a bunch of the 2003 ones on DVD. And the inserts have this on it because the spines all have different part of the 2003 on it. But, yeah, Royal Rumble, No Way Out. Oh, my goodness. Royal Rumble, No Way Out. That's what the February one was called, No Way Out. Then WrestleMania, Backlash, Judgment Day, Bad Blood, Vengeance, SummerSlam, Unforgiven, No Mercy, Survivor Series, Armageddon. Wow. Like, just reading those off, I'm like, they have not been called that in a long time. Like, Judgment Day? Like, what? Like, that is wild. Oh, there's one in Judgment Day. Or is that the... No, there's one in Judgment Day, too. Okay, cool. Oh, because you could get the box that goes around the... Okay, I was like, why do they want us to cut these off? But, no, Judgment Day. Oh, good Lord. That's wild. Yeah, I have Judgment Day, Unforgiven, No Mercy, and Survivor Series. I used to have SummerSlam, but I don't anymore. But I have these on DVD. And that's what I might do in the New Year's. Start watching these, but not watching them, but like watching these and then live streaming and then reacting to them, because I've not seen a lot of these in years. So okay. All right. But yeah, so I don't even know what I'm doing for New Year's because I live in a small town now. Because New Year's last year I was at, where was I last year? Well, yeah, I was at the Richmond. Oh, my friends over there are gonna kill me. Yeah, that was. Of course, I still had fudge this time last year, so I don't hate doing that. It's hard to do that sometimes. It's hard to look back and just realize that my cat's gone now. But I'm glad we had the times we did. And I'm glad that I took so many pictures and videos of her, because she more than deserved it. She was my world, like I said, and she still is my world. She's everywhere, even here, like even when I come in from being wherever, when I unlock the door, like the jingle alone, triggers memories of her, meowing when I'd come in, because even when we were, in the rooms, when I'd open the door, she'd always meow, right? But when I was housed and she was with me before, I would, she'd hear the jingle of my keys and I'd walk in and she'd be meow. And even now here, when I come in most times, I don't even want to say sometimes because it's most times, I still hear that in my head. When I come in, I still hear meow. And almost instinctively, I go right to my bed in my bedroom. Though sometimes when I was housed before with her, I'd come home and she'd be laying on my love seat, because I had a love seat the last time I was housed. Now I have a sofa, thanks to my friend Glenn. But even now when I come in, jingle the keys, come in and all I hear is meow. And I instinctively go right to my bed. Yeah, this holiday is going to be really hard without her around. But she's here. She's here. It's on my keychain. I'll even think it's on my... Because I put another command thing up, and I put... Oh, I don't know what somebody's cooking on this floor, but it smells fantastic, and it's not drugs. Not. Weirdly, I don't know where my keys went. Strange. very, very strange. They're somewhere in here because I haven't left the house. Not left the house in days, so. Strange. Literally looking in the last place I was. Weird. Okay. Oh, there they are. Jingle, jingle. Yeah, that jingle would always trigger her to meow. I remember when I was housed before. But yeah, she's everywhere. And the keychain's already lost one of the things, so I had to literally put it on the keychain itself. But it says, my angel has whiskers. I got it off of Amazon, so it's not like I can't get it again if I need to. Same with this. The paw print and the rainbow bridge jewelry that I got. But yeah, my angel has whiskers, little wing, and the cat, which very much looks like her. Yeah, it really does. It really does look like her. Yeah, it says my angel has whiskers. Because I know she's my guardian angel now. Along with Oliver and my late grandfather, who I love and miss so much. So he's the one that got me into wrestling initially, so. I should probably put these back where they were. Because I literally put a command strip up just to put these up. Because... oh, jeez. Let me guess. Telling me to drink water. Right? Or is it somebody texting me? Oh, okay. I'll answer that in a minute. But yeah, so that's been my 2025 year in review. Tangent filled at times, but yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to memory of Wilson because he was a creator that I think during COVID I really got into. Even just before COVID, I think, but COVID was really when, yeah. So, thank you to all of you guys who have become subscribers to my channel in the past year. Sorry, it's been kind of a hot mess of uploads and live stream schedules, but hopefully in the new year that gets a little bit better. My internet connection is not the greatest out here, so it doesn't allow for much in the way of uploading super long videos as much as I would like to, because there's so much stuff that, especially this summer, that I was able to see and experience, but maybe I'll turn some of the videos into shorts. But, or maybe I'll find a way to show it on the live streams. Yeah, I could do that. I could literally load up a gallery and play them from there. But anyways, so I'm going to log off for now. Be safe out there, everybody. Weather's been a little nuts in my area of Ontario, Canada. A little nuts is an understatement. But be safe, everybody. Check on your people. To anybody struggling with anything over the holidays, you got this. I know it's easier to say than, do, but day by day is all you can do. Yeah. And here's to seeing what 2026 has in store. The past 5 years has been chaotic to say the least, so we shall see what 2026 has to offer us. But again, thanks to all my new subscribers. Thanks for sticking by me through all the chaos that has been my YouTube channel this year. Stay tuned because I hope to have a better schedule in the new year, hopefully. Yeah, so love you guys. Thanks for stopping by, and see you guys in a couple days, hopefully.